Hey guys, it's Nimbus. I am back today with another video. As always, it is free Palestine, free everybody. We will never be free until we are all free. I just got some new kufiyas. I think it was on TikTok Shop. Let me see, I can't remember what it was Pali Talk Shop. Let me pull up their page really quick. Pali Talk Shop. Looks like their name is Palestinian Elegance on TikTok. They have a bunch of stuff on here. They have, wrong way, this way. They got a bunch of different stuff on here, so go check them out if you guys would like to. If you guys have the money, support Palestinian people at this time, support Sudanese people at this time, support Congolese people at this time, support Syrian people, Lebanese, Haitian, Hawaiian, Puerto Rican, Kurdish, Uyghurs. Please, 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 please support as many people as you can. Let's really try to make it clear to our governments that we, like, undeniably clear. They'll have no room for any of this shit anymore. You know what I mean? Like, we gotta make it clear that they have no room for this anymore. We are showing them, we are loud and clearly telling them that they need to stop genocide. Whole time they're like, no, the entire time. I get it, it's not every single politician, and a lot of the West is starting to wake up and starting to do some right shit. Ireland, I think today, just announced that they're gonna join South Africa in the ICJ trial. So that's amazing. We got some other countries, I think Spain, Malta, Ireland, Slovenia, I think, all decided to, they made a move to recognize Palestine as its own sovereign nation. I believe that's what it was. Otherwise, it was like statehood or something like that. You know, they're a country. You know, recognizing them as their own country is the point. So there's that, and that's a huge step forward. But yeah, I think just please do your own research. It was announced that that is not real needed to, the UN called for an immediate ceasefire, and immediately there was no ceasefire. There was only more bombs getting dropped in Lebanon, which I think they hit 3 different spots in Lebanon in like one day, which I'm not surprised because it is not real, but like do y'all understand that this isn't a Hamas issue anymore? This is a white colonial power trying to colonize space that is not theirs. Period. You can't claim indigeneity and then run around bombing the shit out of the land. Especially with white phosphorus, which has been shown to decimate the land, making it uninhabitable. Let alone they're dropping it on civilian areas. And they've been doing this. It's not like this is new. This has been happening. This isn't, history did not start, the world did not begin on October 7th. Please do your own research. Please see what is actually happening, and please understand that there is stuff that we can do. Please understand that the more we stand up and the more we speak up and the more we don't give them room for any of this shit anymore, they'll stop, and they'll have to stop. As much as we don't like to admit it, January 6th is well within our constitutional rights. I'm not saying they were correct. but I am saying that it's well within our constitutional rights. We have the right to overthrow the government. Period. It's in the Constitution. There was another one that somebody touched on, and it was it's at the beginning. The life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness line. I don't know why I can't think of it right now. It's you know, we're endowed with the unalienable rights by their creator, or like the people are endowed with their unalienable rights by their creator, not by the creator. Meaning every single person in this country who lives in this country is free from religious persecution, and the separation of church and state is the point. We're seeing this whole country go back and not even care about its own constitution. It doesn't matter what I believe. It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter what Karen down the street believes. We should all be able to believe what the fuck we want to believe. When I tell y'all how to handle stuff, or when I give y'all, like, when I say, you know, this is what it is, it's from my perspective. You don't have to agree with me. In fact, I don't even care if you agree with me or not, because you're allowed to have your own beliefs regardless of what I believe. That's it. You can believe that your creator is God. But if I don't believe that, then how are you going to get mad because your belief is just not for me? I'm not claiming that you're wrong. I'm not saying that you're stupid for believing what you believe in. I'm saying I don't agree. I don't believe the same things that you believe in. And that should be okay. Especially in a country that was founded on separation of church and state, you know, of course, whatever, but like, and freedom of religion and all that stuff. We're seeing every single day people running around mad because somebody's wearing a hijab, or somebody is wearing, you know, an ankh. I mean, people are mad simply because somebody doesn't believe what they believe in. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous to me. But the point being of this whole thing, and the point of what I was trying to get at, is support the families of the people who you can help. If you can't donate to a charity, if you would rather just buy something from these families, do that. Buy a kufiya, buy an authentic kufiya, find the people, go to Pally Talk Shop. You can find people on Etsy. My first one was from an Etsy an Etsy shop. My first kufiya was from an Etsy shop in Palestine, in the West Bank. I was so grateful to find that one. My package came from Ramallah. I am so grateful for that. I'm not complaining. But we gotta sit here and actually support the people. We can't keep supporting these companies and these countries who don't care about the people, who don't care about the water supply, who don't care about the food that they're giving to people, who just make stupid ass comments about eating sugar cereal all day, every day. If times are so tough, just eat cereal for every meal. There's no nutrition in there. It's just sugar. There's barely any like actual grains in there anymore. But we're supposed to just be like, oh yay, America, bro. This country ain't seen nothing yet. That's all I gotta say. It's just gonna keep getting worse. That's not a threat either. That's literally I'm watching it happen. I'm watching it happen. We all should be seeing this happen. It's clearly there. It's all happening. This isn't new. We all learned about colonization in school, or if you didn't, you better go onto Google or YouTube and figure it out. It's a fact that happened, and it's still happening. Anyway, free Palestine. We need a ceasefire now. An actual, immediate, lasting ceasefire. Permanent ceasefire. That's what we need. And a free Palestine. Free Sudan. Free the Democratic Republic of Congo. Free Tigray. Free Yemen. Free Haiti. Free Hawaii. Free Puerto Rico. Free everybody. Free Syria. Free Lebanon. We will never be free until we are all free. One more thing that I do want to touch on, and this is a change of subject. And I'm just tired of it. Leash your dogs. If you have a dog and you're outside on the sidewalk, if your city has leash laws, put your dog on a fucking leash. Y'all gotta stop letting your fuck ass dogs, who are so well trained and oh so friendly, run up to other people and run up to other dogs trying to bite them. My dog and I are on the fucking sidewalk. He's on a leash, and y'all let y'all fuck ass dogs run up to us all the fucking time. I have to retrain him now, which I'm not really complaining about, but it's the fact of, we went to training, we got training. We did it. He was great. He was perfectly fine. And then everybody on this fucking street decided to get dogs who are just off leash and don't fucking behave. Some of them are puppies, fine. But y'all really just don't give a fuck about your own dogs then. 333. Y'all just don't give a fuck about your own dogs then. I'm not doing this. I'm not saying leash your dogs as a fucking, I'm mad, I don't want to see your dogs, oh my God. I'm walking my dog. I'm trying to peacefully walk my dog down the street. And y'all let y'all dogs run up to us, bite us, do all that shit. But the second I respond and punt your dog into the fucking street, I'm the problem. Your dog runs up to bite us all the fucking time, but I'm the problem because I kicked it. Or I tried to save my dog. Think about that shit. Just leash your fucking dogs. Just do it. There's no reason why you can't. If you're worried about their neck, get a fucking harness. If they don't walk on a leash, your dog is not well trained. You figure that out. Because the next time, I'm not going to be nice about it. I'm not going to say, get your dog, get your dog. I'm going to let the leash go. My dog was perfectly fucking fine with other dogs until 17 of them bitches decided to fucking run up on us for no fucking reason. Fine, it wasn't 17 at once. But in the last fucking year, there's been so many fucking dogs run up to us from people's backyards. So fine. If your dog is off leash in your own yard, fine. But be able to recall your fucking dog then. Or just fucking pay attention. It's not that hard. It's not that fucking hard. Anyway. Rant over. With all that being said, if you guys would like to tip me today, please join me in donating that money to various charities. Do your own research. Make sure that that money goes exactly to where you want it to go. Yeah. Cool. Also, if you guys would like to, my one-on-ones are open on my website. It's NimbusThePoet.com. If you guys would like to purchase a reading, book a reading, I do have those. I also have my poetry up as well. So yeah, a portion of what I make from those readings will also get donated as well. If I get any tips or anything, those will also be donations. So yeah. Without any further ado, let's get started breathing. So yeah. Excuse me. If you guys would like to breathe with me, let's get started. Otherwise, go ahead and skip ahead and you can start the reading. So go ahead, if you guys want to breathe with me, go ahead and put your hands flat down on the table in front of you or flat down in your lap. Go ahead and put your feet flat down on the floor and go ahead and sit, excuse me, and go ahead and sit straight up as best as you can. And we are going to close our eyes and breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth, about a count of 4 each. We're not going to hold it. We're not going to do anything crazy. If you need to breathe faster or breathe slower, go ahead and do that. Don't hurt yourself. You know, I don't want anything to happen to you while you're breathing, because breathing is kind of important. So yeah, this is supposed to be relaxing, you know? But anyway, so let's get started. Go ahead and close your eyes and breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. In and out. In, 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 last one. And out. Keep your eyes closed, but breathe normally. We're going to release any tension we have from the tops of our heads all the way down to our toes. I like to do just some neck circles. You can do whatever you want to. This is just what I like to do. My neck is always tight and shoulders are always tight. Go ahead and switch directions if you're following me. But again, do whatever you want to do. Okay, I like to do some shoulder rolls. Beep, beep. Switch. And I like to just, just shake out my arms. Next, I like to shake out my arms and my legs. Don't kick anything or hurt yourself. Alright guys, go ahead and take one more deep breath in and out. Go ahead and breathe normally and open your eyes slowly. Alright guys, if you guys need more time, go ahead and pause it now. Otherwise, we are going to get started. Today, we are going to use the Marigold Tarot. I'm excited to see what we're going to get today. We're going to do an end of March check-in, just to see where we're at to get started for April. And yeah. Oh, I'm going to get the incense started really quick. Jared, thank you for being here, bro. Let's get this reading started. Let's get this reading to who it needs to get to. Please keep me safe and please help me get a clear message, Jaren. Let's get this reading to who it needs to get to. Thank you, Jaren. Okay. I think this is going to be a good reading. I think this is definitely going to be a good reading today. Oh, wow. Look at me. We'll do one more really quick. I think that was 3, but I'll do another one. Can't believe that worked again. All right. What is our message for the end of March? Check in. Okay. We got the 8 of Rings reversed. What else we got today? What else for today? One card at a time, please, Spirit. It almost feels like, with the 8 of Rings reversed, it almost feels like there's been like a loss of ambition, or like it's almost like your ambition kind of feels like it doesn't need to be there, or like it's misplaced, almost, I wonder. That's interesting. I've never really felt that before. I mean, oh, look at me. I'm so ambitious. Slytherin, I know. I'm kidding. No, but, I am actually a Slytherin. If you wanted to know, since nobody fucking asked, but you know. What else do we have for today? Wow. Okay, that one flew out, but this one flipped over. We got the Empress. That's just the energy. You don't have to be a woman for that to resonate with you. The Empress is really just fertility, abundance, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And we also got the High Priestess. Now, with your ambition, I wonder if it's misplaced. I think it feels more like it's misplaced, because with the High Priestess, it's definitely telling me that you need to focus on discernment a lot and really listen to your intuition. But with the Empress, your abundance is there. It's there. It's not. There's no question about that. You know what I mean? There's definitely, like, it might feel like it's taking a long time for something to happen or whatever it is. But, yeah, 10 of Cups. There could be, and this could be Spirit almost like, focus. You know what I mean? Like, it could just be, like, because you have, you know, what am I trying to say? You've done a lot of the work, and you've been able to see what those things are that you've been trying to, yeah, exactly. Knight of Swords. You've been figuring out what it is that's been weighing on you, and what it is that you need to like push through and like get past. But it's almost like, since it's taking a while, it's like it's not happening. You feel like it might not be happening. Or you could feel like it's not happening, is what I meant to say. Excuse me. And it's birth for confirmation, though, at least. Yeah. Ace of Cups. Like, truly the abundance and the joy and happiness that you're seeking is coming in. It's coming into you. Pause. But you have to accept that there are things that are going to have to be sacrificed in order to get that abundance. And you probably, like with the Knight of Swords, it's probably like a current process of you figuring out, or you already did figure out who it is, what it is, where it is, whatever you need to get rid of. It feels like you already know what that is, but it's almost like even with you knowing what it is or what you need to do, there might still be some questions about it, but that's why your High Priestess is coming out. That's why the Empress is coming out, to remind you, and the Ace of Cups for real, to remind you that that is there for you. But you have to trust, the universe, spirit, God, source, the creator, whatever you want to call it, Allah, whatever you want to call it. If it's multiple gods, it's multiple gods. If it's just your spirit gods or your ancestors, that's what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not. You can believe whatever you want to believe, or it's the same energy but different faces. You know what I mean? It's time to really tune in and tap into your own inner spirit. Everybody has it. Everybody can listen. You know, it's that little voice. It's not your conscience. It's that little voice that's like, it's quieter. To me, for me at least, it's quieter than my conscience. My conscience is like, do you really want to do that? You know, loud as fuck. But like, my intuition is usually like, but like quietly. Or like those like little like, I don't know, like maybe we should do this instead. Like that kind of thing. Which I guess is, they're pretty similar, so I guess in my head they're different. Because like my conscience to me is like a physical representation of that, and then my intuition is like, you know, connected to my spirit and all that stuff. You know, I mean, it's all connected. You know, if you know, you know. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. If I sound crazy, I apologize. But I will not stop. So there. Anyway. Yeah, it really feels like, yeah, justice. There's things coming into balance for you, and it's partly because the things that need to balance are like the things that you've gone through and where you want to go. Like, we have to balance the way that we think about these things, because not all of these things are going to be good for us, and not all of these things are going to be necessary for us for the rest of our lives. Some things and some people are in our lives only for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, maybe a couple years, but we have to understand that sometimes, and it's not always a bad thing. It's not always that you get into a fight with somebody and now you guys just never talk anymore. It could just be like you guys just grow apart. Like in school, you had friends in kindergarten that you didn't talk to senior year of high school. You know what I mean? There was no animosity, there was no beef, hopefully, between you guys, but it was just that you guys didn't talk to the same people. You guys just ended up moving separate ways. It's not that you guys don't like each other anymore, it's just that you guys just went separate ways. That's it. What's the rest of our message for today? Or what's more of our message for today? Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is really telling me, like, keep keep the pressure even under opposition. Like, keep that strength going. Like, you have that strength and you have the will to keep going. But just because it gets difficult and just because we hit an obstacle doesn't mean, or like even somebody pushing back at us, that doesn't mean that it's time for us to stop. That usually just means that we have to try harder. Because there's things that other people are trying to stop us from that maybe they don't understand, maybe they don't want to be a part of, but how does that affect you? You know what I mean? If they don't want to be a part of it, they can leave. 10 of Wands. And in that opposition, in those obstacles, you'll find opportunities. Like, you'll find ways to become more abundant, ways to find different, like, paths. Or like you'll be able to find like maybe like a different path around or something that you didn't really think of originally. You know what I mean? I think something just flipped up. Yes, it did. The Queen of Rings reversed. And there could almost be this feeling of mistrust in this, but Source, Spirit, whatever you want to call it, is really saying, like, the Lovers, there's always a duality to it. There's always a duality. And there's always going to be trials and things to overcome and all these things, but we have to remember that the struggle is part of the success. Like, you're not going to appreciate the success as much if you don't go through this struggle. We got to learn how to facilitate and deal with these things when everything in us is going, oh my God, I quit. You know what I mean? Like, we can't just quit. There have been plenty of times where I would have loved to. But truly, I'm glad that I stayed. There are times where I go back into that thought process and think like, oh my God, I don't want to be here anymore. But it's all because of external sources. It's not even me thinking that on purpose. Like, I mean, I'm thinking that on purpose, but it's not like I'm going through everything good at the moment and just not wanting to be here. You know what I mean? Like, things are going good personally, but then like the world sucks. Like, that's been like a big source of my issue recently has been the world, but I need to focus on myself and like making my own space in this world and making sure that my space is at least a comfortable space for people to exist in. You know what I mean? At least for me. You know, if I'm comfortable, I can do anything I need to do. You know? What else we got today? Wah, wah. We got the Death card. And it could feel like there's this impending doom and like just like looming end to everything. But we also really have to understand that there are ways to get through that, and there are ways to, because this doesn't necessarily mean that somebody's just gonna die. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily mean that you're just gonna fall off the face of the planet. Like, this really just means like there's an end to a cycle, there's an end to these things. And it could feel morbid, it can feel really sad, it can feel, you know, especially when we reach like the end of an era. You know how there's that saying like we've reached the end of an era. It can feel like a piece of us is really dying and falling away. But that's like a really healing moment for us, because we're able to get past those moments and actually evolve out of those moments. Does that make sense? Sometimes we feel like we're not in the right spot, but the whole time we're in the right spot, just without the right people around us or without the right mindset or something like that, and that's what needs to end. So yeah. We got the Nine of Swords reversed. There's always gonna be a reason to doubt these things. But, I mean, again, the High Priestess and the Empress came out, and the Ace of Cups, like, it's you're getting there. It's not like it's not gonna happen. It's not like it's just not gonna happen for you. Like, but you still have to keep going, is the point. Like, you can't just stop because it gets difficult and because you reached an obstacle. Like, you gotta show that you're willing to at least try to get past it, so that source doesn't just think like, oh, okay, they're done. They don't actually want this anymore. You know. Got the Seven of Rings. I mean, yeah, you gotta make it happen yourself, like, or at least make some effort by yourself. You can't just rely on spirit or your guides or whoever, your ancestors, whatever, to just do stuff for you. You have to be willing to go out and do things. Excuse me for confirmation. You really have to be willing to go out and do these things, like work towards these things. What's our last card? Okay. Yeah, we got the Two of Rings reversed. And the bottom of the deck is Page of Cups. Yeah, like, you have to start applying the things that you've learned already. Like, you can't just sit there and go like, oh, I don't know what to do anymore. Or still, or whatever. The whole time you've been working towards figuring that out. You know what I mean? Like, you haven't been doing nothing this whole time. Does that make sense? Like, you've been doing work. So it's not like you don't know where you're going, and it's not like you don't know what to do at all. You know what to do. You know where to go. You know where, okay, maybe you don't know where to go, but you know where you want to end up, right? So if you know where you want to end up, what's the next step that would make the most sense for where you want to be? You know? Especially because with the Two of Rings reversed, there's like this forced feeling. It's like a feeling of forcing this. Because we are forcing it to happen on some level. We're forcing something to happen. We're forcing ourselves to realize that there was a problem. We're forcing ourselves to get rid of people out of our lives. We're forcing ourselves to, it's springtime, it's spring cleaning time. We're forcing ourselves to get rid of things that we've had for years upon years that we never touch. Stuff like that. Like, we have to force those things out of ourselves. Pause. Because there's so many things that we do that we don't really realize are attached to an old way of thinking, or an old friend that we used to have, or something. You know what I mean? We can't just act like there's nowhere to go when it just means that we have some work to do. You know? Especially because with the 9 and the 10 of Wands, there are obstacles. There are obstacles. But then you got Justice, and then you got the Queen of Rings reversed. And it's like, yes, there's issues that come from finding an obstacle, sure. You don't know where to go, maybe you can't get around it, maybe it's, this big and you're this big, something like that. But it's also, again, you have to have these things balanced. Like, there's not... Again, your abundance is coming in. You got the Empress. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You're getting exactly what you want to get. But just because you hit an obstacle doesn't mean that it's over, and doesn't mean that no matter what, it's just not going to come in because you didn't figure it out. If you need help, ask. If you don't know where to go, ask. The worst you're going to get is figure it out. And you've been doing that the whole time. I mean, for real. So it's like, and especially with the Lovers and then Death card, they came out, the Lovers came out and then Death came out. To me, that really feels like there's something that's been, there's a connection that you've had that does not need to exist anymore. Whether you do a cord cutting, whether you do whatever you do, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but there's definitely something that needs to fall away. Whether that is a relationship, whether that is a friend, whether that's a colleague, a job, whatever it ends up being. There's something that does need to fall away, and it does need to leave in order for you to achieve exactly what you want. Let's grab this pride message really quick. So I don't talk too much in circles. What is our message for, what is our pride message for the end of March check-in? Okay. What's our next message? Okay. And third one. Whoa. Do we do 4? Okay. This one came out when I said third one, so we'll use that one today. Fuck it. We'll add that one in too. That's a good one. Alright, so this is the order that they came out. We got You Are Loved. Support. You are never alone. Support systems can be found in the most unlikely and unexpected places. It's worthwhile looking for some, so long as it feels right for you, and it restores faith in yourself. Cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, but that's my point though. Once you get the people out or the things out that do not belong to you, that support kind of just comes in to fill that space because you now have space for that energy to occupy. Like it's free space now. You know what I mean? Courage. The road will be long, hard, and occasionally ugly. Facing your fears is part of the journey, and if you time it right, it can take you to higher places within yourself and beyond. Yeah. This was the next one that came out. Queer gang. Community. Safety in numbers. Unite and collaborate with like-minded allies to chip away at lingering negativity and judgment. Yeah. And last one is, what does that say? The shirt says, sounds gay, I'm in. That's hilarious. We got friendship. A problem shared is a problem halved. Huh. Never heard that before. That's dope. Friendship. A problem shared is a problem halved. Confide in a close friend to ease the heart and keep anxiety at bay. Sometimes we really just need to find, and I'm not saying that every single person in your life has to be just wiped out. You know what I mean? You don't have to have a clean slate. You just gotta have space for this abundance to come in. You gotta get rid of the negativity. You gotta get rid of the people who don't want you to evolve. You gotta get rid of the things that keep you stagnant. If the people around you don't want to see you evolve, one, they're not going to help you, and two, they're just going to tell you that you're wrong the entire time. They're going to try to change your mind on it. They're going to make it seem like you're crazy. They're going to do all these different things to make it seem like you're the problem when they're holding you back. And it's shitty when that happens. We have to find those people. And we can't let it affect us to the point of like no movement, because then we're not doing enough at all. We're running around saying, oh, but why isn't this working for me? And meanwhile, we're not actually working towards anything because there's too many things in our life that are working against us already anyway. But it feels like you already know who or what it is that you kind of need to get rid of. It feels like there's already been like this feeling in you, like, okay, I guess I got to get rid of this person. I guess I got to make sure that this person isn't around anymore. You know, like that kind of, and not like that. Not in a bad way, just cutting them off. Like, just making sure that they're not in your life anymore. That's it. Yeah. Let's grab our sweary affirmation really quick. All right. Let's see what our sweary affirmation is for today. Okay? Yeah? When the world says I can't, I say, fucking watch me. Period. Yeah, I mean, when other people say you can't do that, it's always to try to make it seem like you don't deserve the things that you want, or you don't deserve to be happy the way that you want to be. Or other people see you trying to get happy and they're like, I couldn't be happy, so you can't be happy. And it's like, why? You could just go and figure it out for yourself too. It's not a me problem, that's a you problem. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not happy with your life, why do I have to be unhappy with my life? Why can't I be excited for the things that I have? Why can't I be, you know, happy that I'm moving forward and moving up in my life? Like, why can't people just be happy for me evolving anyway? And it's like, if those people are still around you, those are the people who need to leave, because those are the people who are going to try to hold you back, and they're going to make it really hard to move forward, because those are the people that you trust. Those are the people that you're with. Those are the people who are supposed to have your best interests in mind. But if they don't have your best interests in mind, and they're running around saying shit like, oh, you know, you don't actually mean that, you know, you don't want to actually be fill in the blank here, you don't actually ever want to do that, people, blah, 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 whatever the fuck excuses they have for all that stupid shit, it's all to make you second guess what you want to do. And it's all to make it seem like it's your idea, because it's got to come from you first, right? You're not gonna agree with them if they outright tell you no. If they give you good reasons as to why you shouldn't do it, of course you're gonna believe them. 333. Of course you're gonna believe them. They just convinced you perfectly that it doesn't matter what you think. It matters what they think. It matters what other people think, because other people are the ones who are gonna judge you. If you like what you're doing, you're not gonna judge yourself. You know, like, you're not. You're gonna be happy with where you're going in life because you like what you're doing. You enjoy where you are in life. And that's the thing too. Be wary of people who are just unhappy. There's no helping them. There's no... They have to take it upon themselves to actually heal themselves and do that. But a lot of people refuse to heal themselves. A lot of people decide that, oh, I'm too far gone. Nobody's ever gonna blah, 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 whatever it is. Which is wrong. You can always heal. You know, it's the same thing with narcissistic parents who have a kid who went no contact. Same. Who have a kid who went no contact. They're always like, oh, but I did my best and I always tried to X, Y, and Z. You had a roof over your head. You had food in your stomach. Okay? That doesn't mean it wasn't traumatic. That doesn't mean that you didn't cause trauma. That doesn't mean that you literally didn't show up to any of my stuff or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't mean that you always helped me with my homework. That doesn't mean anything. Just because I had a roof over my head and had food in my stomach, I mean, I'm grateful. Or, I mean, I'm sure they'd be grateful too. But I'm sure that doesn't equal it out to the abuse that happened. I mean, for real. And I honestly gotta say, for people who are if you are no contact with a parent or with a family member or something, or like your entire family or something, that gives you a great chance to find and create your own family. Like 555. That's a great way to, now you have nobody in your, and it sounds terrible, but now you have nobody in your life. So now you get to pick and choose exactly who you want in your life. If you had a friend in 4th grade that you haven't spoken to in a long time, do that. If you want to talk to a person that you never talked to before, you see the same barista at the coffee shop every single day, talk to them and see what's going on with them. You know what I mean? Like, you never know what could be the best choice for you until you actually get rid of those negative things that are still around you, those people, those things, whatever it is. And like, even if it's like a job, like, I used to work at the mall. I worked at 3 different stores at the mall, and not at the same time. I worked at 2 of them at the same time, but that was a mistake. Anyway, point being is that even jobs will make you think that you're crazy for wanting to take time off or needing to take a vacation or whatever. And it's like, or even like just being proud of what the fuck you did. Like, hey, I whatever the fuck. And magically you're wrong because you're happy about something that other people just can't be happy about or just don't want to be happy about. And it's like, okay, except that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. I'm happy with what just happened. If you're not, that's on you, and you need to stop trying to convince me that I'm wrong. That happens all the time. There's always this older employee who works wherever they work, and they're always trying to tear you down because you're young, you're trying to advance in life, you're trying to evolve, and they didn't. And they're bitter, and they're upset because they don't know what to do, they don't want to be where they are in life, they don't want to be a Walmart greeter for the rest of their life. And it's like, okay, then don't. It's not my fault that you didn't get to where you wanted to be. I'm not saying that every single person has the opportunity and the strength or whatever to do those things and to get to exactly where they want to get to. But there's plenty of people who could have at least gotten closer and thought they just couldn't. Because other people convinced them not to, or because they convinced themselves not to, or whatever. They didn't heal, whatever it was. But that's not your fault. That's not my fault. I'm happy with my healing journey. If you're not happy with your healing journey, that's completely on you. You can ask me what I did to feel better. You can ask me all these different questions. But the second you try to tell me that I'm wrong for whatever I did, within reason. Closed practices are closed practices. But, like, my point is like, if you're healing and all you did was sit there and be like, oh yeah, I'm so happy because I don't have to deal with X, Y, and Z person in my life anymore. And they're like, oh, I dealt with my blah, 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 whoever for however long, and I never had that problem. I just sucked it up and dealt with it, and I did all these different things. And it's like, okay, that's great for you. I'm glad you didn't get to where you wanted to get to in life, I guess. I don't know what you want from me. Like, I don't know. You know what? Does this make sense? I feel like I'm just kind of rambling, but I don't know. I mean, plus with the Page of Cups coming out, there's knowledge that you're trying to apply. You know what I mean? It's not like you're just deciding one day, oh, I'm gonna be an astronaut, and with no type of any experience. I don't know what experience they would need, but like if like say like one day you just applied to be an astronaut and you've never went to any type of training, nothing like that. Other people are like, you're crazy, blah, 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 whatever, and it's like, okay, let me be crazy then. I don't know what you want from me. People are just going to be mad at you because you're doing the things that don't seem like the status quo. And even when we're not doing things that seem like they're the status quo, or even when we are doing things that seem like they're the status quo, there's going to be somebody telling us that we're stupid or we're wrong, or, now the other side is telling us, oh, how could you be following the status quo? Oh my God. And it's like, you can't win. So you gotta, at some point, just sit there and be like, what do I need? What do I want to do? Your high priestess is already trying to tell you what to do. Gender neutral, male or female, it doesn't matter, or they, whoever. We're inclusive over here. The high priestess is just the energy of it. It's not like gendered. Same thing with the empress. It's not, the emperor is a different card, but the energy is just a feminine energy. Everybody has masculine and feminine energy inside of them. It's not, you're not gay because you're a feminine man. Or like have more feminine energy as a man. You know what I mean? Anyway. But like with the Page of Cups, like you're trying to apply these things that you've learned. You're trying to really get into a place where if something comes up, you can try to tackle it because maybe you didn't see the same situation, but maybe you've seen something similar. And maybe you're like, oh, I recognize this from when this happened, and I might be able to do this again because that worked that time, and maybe if I do this and change this, I'll be able to figure it out. You know what I mean? Plus, meditation is definitely a good way to figure out a lot of this stuff because it helps you get to exactly where you need to be, and it helps you figure out, excuse me, verb for confirmation. It helps you to figure out what the path is that you actually need. When you're able to quiet your mind and actually meditate and sit there for a while and like really just exist in the moment, a lot of things become more clear to you because you're able, and meditating isn't about just quieting your mind and letting your thoughts go and having an empty mind. It's part of it, but thoughts are going to happen. And you're going to hear, your guides are going to try to speak to you, and you're going to quiet your mind enough to where you're starting to hear the universe trying to communicate with you and all these different things. Or like if you meditate to music, you'll hear different words that you didn't hear before. Or like you'll understand a line differently than you did before. Something like that. Because we're more tuned in and tapped into what it is that we're actually trying to get to. Does that make sense? So yeah, keep going. Keep going. Even if there's obstacles, the obstacles aren't the end of the road. Until you hit a sign that says end of road, do not cross, cross it anyway. Not actually. Okay, if there's like not actually. Don't actually do that. But like spiritually and mentally, like if you hit a roadblock or an obstacle, it's not the end of the road. And it's not supposed to be just the end of everything and you're done. It's because you're supposed to figure out how to handle it, how to get around it, how to get over it. If it's too high to jump over, are you going to be able to dig through it? That kind of thing. If it's too long to go around, are you able to jump over it? You know? Yeah. These birds are going crazy. I don't know if you guys can hear them. I wonder where they are. That window's open, so it must be over there somewhere. Anyway. Well, but anyway. Not the point. That is all I am seeing for you guys today. I appreciate you guys watching and being here and staying until the end if you guys did. Just keep your head up. Stuff is going to get difficult. Life isn't easy, but we still have to try and we have to do our best. Like, actually do our best. So, yeah. Yeah. So again, I thank you all for being here. Please like, share, comment, subscribe if you guys enjoyed. Also hit that notification bell if you guys want to get notified for all my updates, or uploads, sorry. Well, updates too, I guess. But yeah. Free Palestine, free everybody. We will never be free until we're all free. I love you guys. Y'all be safe. Have the day that y'all deserve. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.